That being said, it's like over 90% of people fail. But then again, most 90% of people are unfocused and they're checking their Facebook every 30 minutes and they don't really do a lot of work.
Okay, there's your answer, Mark F. Let's go on to, if you don't mind, we can focus on this if you guys are interested in this question, but I wanted to touch on, like, I think job as a slave is a really interesting perspective. I've never thought of it that way before.
That's fine. I don't know who wins that round, but I don't think you effectively ever made an argument that if somebody's getting what they're delivered, that they should still get a refund.
No. I'm saying they're not getting what they're delivered, because I'm saying that what gurus are promising, what you're promising is an income. You're implying an income.
Can I show you my order? If you're saying people should get a refund on my course, look at the order form. The order form is very clear what people are getting.
I think it's clear. I think it's clear. I think we've got 2 points, right? We've got point number one is, and I think this is where John is trying to make this point, is that he's saying that you have the opportunity to make X amount of dollars, right? And I think Steven's his rebuttal to that is saying, no, you're saying straight up, hey, you're going to make 10,000. And John's rebuttal to that is, well, I never said, what do you think, you're going to buy my course? I'm going to Venmo you, right? So that kind of brings us to where we are now, right? So it's kind of like, I think you guys both agree on, obviously, hey, if they're obviously not getting what they want, then they should get a refund, right? I think it goes back to the marketing equation now, right? So John, let me ask you this. Obviously, as a course creator, as a marketer yourself, what would you say is out of line? Like, if you say this, specifically, or things like this, that should be considered, hey, this is completely not okay, and you should get a refund. And then what is okay? What is allowed to be said in your own words? So,
one thing that we do is we just let people know up front, there's no guarantee of making any money. That's how, you're not going to pay us money and then we're just going to be like, hey bro, like, what's your Venmo? Like, let me send you some money. And I don't think people think that either. And if they do, that's crazy. What I think there should be is, I think there should be more transparency in the industry, like what's happening right now. I think CoffeeZilla should debate every guru. I think if a guru doesn't come on something like CoffeeZilla's channel or isn't willing to actually address the other side, then it means they have stuff to hide. I mean, if you're using 2 first names, if you're using a made up name, I think teachers should, you probably have something to hide. Oh, you guys are not. But the point being, I think the culture of having reviews and having blogs and having people post about teachers, I think there should even be a central repository which actually rates all the different teachers out there, because I believe online education is here to stay. It's part of a coming wave. People don't want to drive to school. People don't want to go far away to college. You get a better education learning from guys who are actually making millions of dollars a year. What? Then you do going to college.
Yes,
yeah, I brought out
John,
the money,
yes.
guys.
I was hoping I'd get some of that.
I brought out the money, guys.
Hey, I'm going to send you my Venmo after this. You joked about it, but I'm going to send you my Venmo.
The point is, people get a better education, and I think transparency is good. But at the end of the day, transparency, use your real freaking name, is first thing. But there's a lot more that goes into that. So I like overall what you're doing, but I highly disagree, because you are just telling people don't buy online courses, okay? And you're dissuading people from actually taking their life in their own hands. You're leaving them at the whim of going to college and being going into debt and getting, going into debt, which is further than broke, and becoming a slave to a job, which is not the way that you need to operate in society. I think you're tearing down one side and there's some bad actors, but you're not offering any solutions. And I think that's a big fat problem and a disservice to your entire audience.
All right,
Steven?
let me address that. So first of all, you said I'm not offering solutions. I'm just saying, hey, go with the status quo, etc. No, I'm not. What I say is that oftentimes what you can find for free online or for a very low amount of money in a book is twice as good as what you're going to find in a guru's course. So what I say is not that. Just become an autodidact. Learn to teach yourself.
What is an autodidact, by the way?
Someone who
I
is
dropped
good,
out of college.
a self-learner, somebody who is good at, and by the way, I didn't learn that in college. I learned that in a book because, that's what you have to do. If you want to be an educated person, I agree with you. College doesn't provide you all the answers. You've got to go, like I'm doing YouTube. That's totally unrelated to engineering. I didn't want to do engineering. So I did something completely different. College gave me helped me critically think, but I don't think that's the end all be all. And I'm not against certain courses. Like if it's a Udemy course for $10, I'm all about it. And they create great courses on there. I'm not about not investing in your education, but what I'm saying is these high ticket courses are, in my opinion, almost never worth it and almost are never providing what they advertise in implication. Now, you might be able to argue that objectively each one of these people all have income disclaimers. Everybody has an income disclaimer that I'm not really promising this or this or this, but they kind of are. And let me give you an example. Let me give you an analogy to something that is not the guru business. It's the medical guru business where they say, we're going to treat your memory problems, right? This is common now. And at the bottom of the page, they'll say, this advice is not intended to treat anything. So that's a disclaimer. And before you order your thing, you have to agree that this book or whatever supplement you're buying isn't intended to treat anything at all, which totally defeats the whole ad, right? Because the whole ad is telling you it will treat everything. I don't think that's ethical, and I don't think that's within the realm of like what we should be allowing. I see it very similar to what's going on in gurus. They say in their advertising copy, they make it seem like the equivalent of solving all your problems. They say, you could make this much money a month. You're going to, it's easy. I was just in your shoes. Then I found my mentor and I'm going to be your mentor and you're going to make all this money. At the very end, they basically give a disclaimer that defeats the whole purpose of the entire ad, which is saying, well, we just don't know what the hell is going to happen. But I don't think that's right. I think that kind of advertising, which is so prominent in high ticket sales, is not helping people. I want to address online education. Like you said, I actually agree with you. Online education is here to stay. I think it's a good thing. I just don't think the high ticket stuff with the kind of advertising that's going on is helping anyone. So I don't think it's productive. So yes, I criticize it, but it's because when there's so much high ticket stuff out there and there's so many extreme claims, how can good educators make their mark? How can good educators make their mark when all they can promise is, well, I'm going to teach you a basic skill, which is a good thing. But when you're going up against somebody who's going to say, I'm going to make you $100,000, in your first 60 days or whatever, you're not saying that. But there are gurus who do, I think. Actually, I need to brush up on that. But there's a lot of crazy income claims out there.
He who will not be named.
Yeah. There's a lot of crazy income claims out there. And the point is that when an honest educator goes up against that guy, he loses 10 out of 10 times. And so I'm against the advertising.
So first off, I'm happy you agree with most of my major points. I mean, that's pretty cool. And thank you. I'm happy we both agree. I think it's also cool that we agree that online education is here to stay. And